Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, all you have to do when looking at the Hunter Biden email story, which is a clear, there's no debate. This is a clear-cut example of pay to play. A clear-cut example. There's no debate at all. Okay? There's absolutely no debate. And all you have to do is go to the New York Post. So emails reveal how Hunter Biden introduced Ukrainian businessman to VP dad. And the email that is the most incriminating that we have, that the New York Post published, that Twitter deliberately silenced and tried to suppress because Twitter is an extension of the Democratic Party, is the following. An earlier email from May 14th, 2014 also shows Pozarski, reportedly Burisma's number 3 exec, asking Hunter for, quote, advice on how you could use your influence, end quote, on the company's behalf. The wonderful journalist Philip Bump does not understand that this is an example of quid pro quo or pay to play, a quid pro quo or pay to play scheme. The number 3 executive at the firm that hired Hunter to be on the board of directors without any background in oil and gas, okay? Without any background in oil and gas, he doesn't even speak Ukrainian. The reason it's not a matter of it's not a matter of any ambiguity here or nepotism. The issue is not about Hunter getting on the board of directors because he was the son of the vice president and the future president. The issue, ladies and gentlemen, is that there's a difference between nepotism and pay to play. There is no pay to play with Ivanka or Jared Kushner or Donald Trump Jr. or Eric Trump. They don't need the money. They don't need to sell access. They don't have a foundation like the Clintons. So if it's Uranium One or Hunter's laptop, there's a business transaction. The business transaction is Democrats don't have, they're not, aside from Bloomberg, but he's a billionaire who is with, a part of Tammany Hall. And Trump made his fortune in New York, but also branched out to other cities, other places. Democrats generally derive influence, money, power from selling access or from the D.C. establishment. So you can look at the Clinton Foundation, and money went into the Clinton Foundation. Beneficial treatment took place for the people who gave the money. This is a fact also. Whenever there's a correlation that looks like causation, Democrats say, well, you can't prove correlation, need not be, doesn't necessarily mean causation. If there's a book, and this is why Philip Bump and the Washington Post and journalists, if there's a book written about Trump, it's actually a legitimate news story to mainstream. It's a legitimate news story. Like, they're actually reporting on Bob Woodward's book that is, completely based on gossip and hearsay, or all these books. Anyone can say they have a source. Anyone can say they have a source. And it's being, whatever is said about Trump in a book is being reported as an actual story, an actual fact that needs to be addressed and analyzed and evaluated and, let's obsess over this. He said something. He was alleged to have done something. And there's no evidence of it. There was no evidence in the Atlantic article. We have it. The New York has it, gentlemen. To my super chat, I can't do this without you, ladies and gentlemen, so thank you. By the way, Ebenezer, thank you so very, very much. Ebenezer Adams, thank you so very, very much. There was a super chat right before the end of the last live stream, so I do appreciate that very much. Ebenezer Adams, thank you so much. Thank you. To my super chat, I can't do this without you, so thank you so very, very much. Before we get to Tucker Carlson, I just want to read you this. Emails reveal how Hunter Biden introduced Ukrainian businessman to VP Dad. Then, this is an article that's already been vindicated. The reporting has been vindicated. DC does not, the Washington Post, the New York Times, I've been calling them an extension of the DNC for a long time. Now people are actually realizing that MSNBC, CNN, the Washington Post, the New York Times, Vanity Fair, Esquire, Rolling Stone, the Daily Beast, Mother Jones, The Nation, the New Yorker, New York Magazine, they're all saying the same thing all the time. Conservative publications don't do that. Conservative publications actually don't do that. It's interesting. And to the detriment of their political side, actually. But it's actually a good thing in a way. Obviously a good thing because it doesn't show the mindless groupthink. But at the same time, it's very difficult to challenge or refute most of media when they're yelling at the top of their lungs about something that is either inaccurate or completely fabricated, or if they're unable to even look at numbers in a rational perspective. But here, Hunter Biden introduces father, then Vice President Joe Biden to a top executive at Ukrainian energy firm less than a year before the elder Biden pressured government officials in Ukraine into firing a prosecutor who was investigating the company. How people have completely revised, altered reality. The reality is, obviously, Biden was influenced by his son to engage in an official capacity, to utilize the power of the United States of America, the influence, to let someone go to force the firing of somebody in another country. It's so obvious. You would need for any accusation, Bendy. I just said, Bendy. Thank you. I just saved 10% by switching a guy. For the super chat, anything that you can get past the, almost anything you can get past the censors goes. So, Ben D, thank you so very much. Eric, H526, everybody, Eric and Luke, thank you. Everybody, subscribe to Eric H526's gaming channel and also his Odyssey channel. So, subscribe to Eric H526's gaming and Odyssey channel, everybody. Ben D, starting it off. I can't thank you enough, Ben D. I can't thank you enough. Thank you as always. And like I said to Ebenezer Adams, thank you so very much. I know that you had sent a super chat right before. So, thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Ben D, thank you so very much. So, here's the article. The never-before-revealed meeting is mentioned in a passage of appreciation that Vadim Pozarsky, an advisor to the board of Burisma, allegedly sent Hunter Biden on April 7, 2015, about a year and a half after Hunter joined the Burisma board at a reported salary of up to $50,000 a month. Again, he's not getting $50,000 a month, and somebody tell the Washington Post and New York Times journalists this. He's not getting $50,000 a month because of nepotism. If it was because of nepotism, I don't care if he got $1 million a month. I don't care at all. That's irrelevant to me whether he got $1 million or $50,000 a month because his father helped him. I don't care about that at all. The nepotism is not the issue, but then again, they always, it's private emails, it's not top secret intelligence on private servers. So they always try to dilute the actual corruption. They always try to muddy the waters in terms of what they're actually accused of. Okay? They always try to muddy the waters pertaining to what they're actually accused of. So it's not about nepotism. It's not about nepotism. Okay? It has nothing to do with nepotism. It has nothing to do with nepotism at all. Just like Clinton's email server had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with private email. It was servers with top secret intelligence. And this is selling access to the United States government or convincing other people. The mere act of convincing other people is corruption anyway. But convincing other people that wealthy individuals, corporations throughout the world, that you will use your influence on behalf of their company, which is literally what one of the emails say. Then you have another email. Dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to D.C. and giving an opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together. They were selling access to the United States government. This is a fact. It's not up for debate. That's why who do you think is more intelligent? The Bidens or wealthy billionaires around the world who need access into the U.S. government? Roger Rabbit! You know Goodman Trump will continue to troll these fools on their own platform. It's just who he is, and I love it. Roger Rabbit! Thank you. Aussie woman, hello. Hello, hope all is well, Aussie woman. Roger Rabbit, yes, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, Roger Rabbit. Hello. Hello. Roger Rabbit, Ben D, starting off the super chat. I can't do this without you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very, very much. An earlier email from May of 2014 shows Pizarski, reportedly Burisma's number 3 exec, asking for advice on how you could use your influence on behalf of the company. On the company's behalf. So, the blockbuster correspondence, which flies in the face of Joe Biden's claim that he's, quote, never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings, is contained in a massive trove of data recovered from a laptop computer. The computer was dropped off at a computer repair shop in Biden's home state of Delaware in April 2019, according to the store's owner. Okay. Every single story that is detrimental to Democrats is ignored and actively covered up by media. Media is not the majority of media. The vast majority is an extension of one political party. This is not hyperbole. This is not hyperbole. The majority of American media is an extension of one political party, and that's unfortunately the case. That's just the way it is. And when you, half the country that voted for President Trump, half of the electorate, should understand that anything that is written about Trump or about Biden is written within the paradigm of must attack and disparage and undermine Trump at all costs, even if the truth is at stake and they don't care about the truth, and must protect Democrats, Biden, and liberal ideology at all costs. That's why the fact-checking organizations are obsessively fact-checking even semantics when it comes to Trump. but don't really check the facts when it comes to Biden or Democrats. Mashed potato brains is losing popularity every single day. Everyone knows he's out to lunch and nobody's home. Everyone knows the lights are on, but nobody's home. Everyone knows he's 5 beers short of a six-pack. Everybody knows this. And it's like, you get this indignation. How dare you? How dare you? I mean, they treated President Trump in the most despicable, disrespectful manner. And they expect a person who is like pretty much out to lunch all the time. The man is slurring his speech. He's going off on bizarre tangents. That's what he always did. He always did that. You can barely hear him. He goes into this hushed whisper, and then he kind of grits his teeth and speaks through his teeth. And it's like nobody believes the charade anymore. The Afghanistan debacle, when it was directly his fault, those 13 Americans should be alive today. They are not alive because Biden used the T-ban, we'll call them the T-ban, as security. Okay? Only Biden would do that because it was the stupidest thing in the world to do. Why on earth would you use the T-ban for security? Why? Tell me why. Why would you do that? Why would you use the T-ban for security? It makes no sense at all. It makes absolutely no sense at all. But you have a situation where, I'll read you, Glenn Greenwald is awesome, knocks Washington Post Philip Bump for calling Hunter Biden laptop a conspiratorial theory. Okay, so they do not, this is also an issue. They do not judge themselves or their politicians in the manner they go after Trump. With Trump, any hearsay or gossip is just fine. If there's any hearsay or gossip at all, it's just fine. It has to actually be addressed and talked about, and it's just fine. Any hearsay and gossip. A book, nonsense in a book, a Steele dossier that was literally it's interesting. The Washington Post had no problem with a Steele dossier. In fact, I think they even fact-checked some claims about the dossier saying, well, that's not true. Some of it's been proven right. None of it was proven. None of the major claims was proven right. Well, none of the major claims were proven to be accurate. The Steele dossier said that Russian operatives were meeting with Carter Page and Michael Flynn and George Papadopoulos. Nothing could be further from the truth. None of it happened. That's why Sussman was indicted, because he was an attorney who knew very well that he was trying to set up. They all knew that they were trying to set up and frame Trump. They all knew that. You can't simply pretend that you're finding out wrongdoing and you have to tell the FBI, and then people at the FBI who are also in on it say, okay, well, I'm going to run with this because this is national security. We learned what national security was in Afghanistan. We learned the actual meaning and definition. 13 Americans lost their lives because Democrats didn't know the meaning of national security and utilized the T-ban as we gave the T-ban American names. Gave them American names in a list. I mean, have you ever heard of anything so ridiculous and absurd in your life? Ian Moyer! Oh my God! It makes no sense like the message in the super chat because the real message thinner. My God, Ian Moyer, thank you so very much. I can never repay you, Ian Moyer. I can never repay you. All I can tell you, I mean, honestly, if there was anything I could do, Ian, other than yell into the 1950s microphone, I just thank you so very much. My God, Ian, thank you so very, very much. Ian Moyer, you do not have to anymore. My God, thank you, Ian. So kind of you. So very kind of you, Ian Moyer. My goodness, I cannot thank you enough. I cannot thank you enough, my God. My God. E.P. Gregory! Thank you, E.P. Gregory. Thank you. Thank you, Ian. Ian Moyer. Ian Moyer, thank you so much. I just can't thank you enough, E.P. Gregory. Ian, the only thing I'll say, I'm hoping that, I think that the only thing that I can tell the world and tell people that, you know, are so wonderful, like you, Ian, everybody here, is, if you have money, Shabbat Shalom, Furu, thank you. The only thing I can say is, if you have money in the market, take some profits. And as I thank Ian and beg everybody for the super chat to help me do these live streams, we're going to have an economic crisis of epic proportions. Ian Moyer, thank you. I cannot thank you enough, sir. I cannot thank you enough. And just thank you so very, very much, Ian. Thank you. Thank you so much. Take profits off the top. If you've made profits in the stock market, if you're about to retire, in a year, I don't think a person has any business being in the market. Ian, thank you so very much. Our country doesn't build things like you do, Ian, and others. They don't pick up a shovel. They don't. The financial profits and the profits from tech are about 30 to 40% of the S&P 500 profits. So corporate profits are a bit skewed. And when you have all of this stimulus money, people didn't care initially about paying higher fees and services and costs. So, Ian, thank you so very, 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 very much, Ian. Thank you. I would say just a savings account. E.P. Gregory. E.P. Gregory. Thank you, E.P. Gregory. Thank you. Ian Moyer. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough, Ian. Thank you. E.P. Gregory, thank you. I would say open up a savings account, take some profits. If you've made money in Bitcoin, if you've made money in Tesla, if you've made money in the S&P, if you've made money in the Dow Jones, if you've made money in the NASDAQ, if you've made money, just from working, and you have enough money you can save $500, $1,000 a month, do so. I would also, stocking up on some, canned goods is not a bad thing, if God forbid, just for an emergency like an earthquake or whatever. There could be a time when there's a supply chain issue that hits grocery stores throughout the country. Toilet paper is just one thing there could be a run on. Ian Moyer, thank you. I can't thank you enough, Ian. I can't thank you enough. I think that Janie Langley, thank you. Janie Langley, thank you so very much. Janie Langley, thank you so very, very, very much. When I was in high school, Janie, there was a kid in the grade above me. who lip synced the Aerosmith song "Janie's Got a Gun," and he did so with a tennis racket, like pretending it was the guitar. And it was, to this day, one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. In my life. Must have been 16, 17. I think I was 16. He must have been 17. And it was the best thing. Ian, Ben, everybody here, Janie. It was one of the best things, if not the best thing I've ever seen in my life. He lip synced the whole thing in front of this filled auditorium in the high school, and he was the man. It was amazing. Janie, thank you. Janie, thank you so very, very much. Ian, I can't thank you enough. Ian, thank you. Ben D. Ben D, thank you. Ben D. Janie, thank you. Janie Langley. Yeah, so I just remember that, Janie. It was amazing. That's one of my favorite songs also. Ian, thank you. It makes no sense like the message in the super chat because the real message. Ian, thank you. EP Gregory, thank you. Luke St. Martin, hello. So, I would just say, get ready for, I think the impeachment will take place in 2022. So, impeachment in 2022. Once we have Trump Republicans take over, it's game, set, match. Starting January, we're going to have a countdown until party time. The height, the zenith, the plateau, the Mount Olympus, the apex of Democratic Party power and influence is right now. Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, all of late night, even Major League Baseball, social media algorithms, the Washington Post, the New York Times, CNN, MSNBC. This is not going to stay like this forever. Janie, thank you. Janie, thank you so very much. Ian, I can't thank you enough. Ian, thank you. EP Gregory, thank you. And on the channel, if you go on H.A. Goodman, and you click on it, how come there's no join button? God. Oh, yeah, there is. To the right. Right? There's a join button to the right of 184,000 subs. I mean, I think I see it, but let me know if you see it. Let me know if you see it, ladies and gentlemen. Conrad! San Francisco is paying $300 to not commit crimes. That's $109,500 a year. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't doubt that. I don't know on what type of program that's for. I don't know for what type of program that's for, but I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt there's some kind of program. One of the worst, I think it was on Fox News, it was pretty hilarious. In New York, Conrad, there was a program to actually talk to the violent criminal that assaulted you. And they did this skit where it was like, yeah, you kept on trying to protect yourself, and as you did, your knuckles brushed onto my cheekbone and really hurt because I was trying to pummel you, and it just wasn't fair, So hold on, New York violent crime. So hold on, what's this? It was some kind of skit. I mean, it was some kind of new law that so this is woke New York Democrats want to make crime victims help their attackers. What kind of nonsense is this? They live in a world that doesn't exist. And they always say, I want to keep us safe. The Republicans keep us unsafe. It's like, your idea of safety is fueled by complete neuroses and paranoia, and it's fueled by their endless neuroses and their unmitigated paranoid response to things. Woke New York Democrats want to make their crime victims help their attackers. What? Why? What kind of communities will be empowered to develop? See, they use words like empowered, which in practice, when the way they're utilizing it is the actual opposite. So, communities will be empowered to develop individualized strategies to help wounds of violence rather than being forced to rely on policing and prisons as the only recourse. What? Are you kidding me? What is wrong with policing? Other than, I understand, there's medical malpractice. You don't do away with hospitals. So, if there's issues, there should have been, police reform is fine. You could still support law enforcement. Medical malpractice is a reality, so what do? Do you not go to the doctor? There are accountants or, attorneys or, there are people in all different walks of life. There's not one industry where you don't have, coaching. You could look at Penn State. Lonnie Self, hello. Hello, Ben D. Hello, thank you. Thank you, Janie. Thank you, E.P. Gregory, Ian Moyer. I can't thank you enough, Ian. E.P. Gregory, Janie. Thank you, Conrad. Lonnie, thank you. Thank you, Lonnie. Ben D. Yes. So, I don't understand, they don't live in the world of a morally superior liberal is not, it's a world where bad things can be prevented through good laws because criminals don't exist. Criminals are not diabolical or evil or opportunists or conniving or deceitful. Criminals to liberals or morally superior liberals are good people, and that, which, by the way, could be the case sometimes, but are good people who just haven't been who haven't been given the opportunity, perhaps, to see how logical and rational these laws preventing them from committing crimes are. So once they understand how beneficial these laws are to society, they, I'm sure, wouldn't break them. So it's like it's very difficult. It would be very difficult for me to believe that people who try to push for these laws have been the victim of violent crimes. Jesus, hello. It would be very difficult for me to believe. You know. Exactly. Caroline, exactly. As long as it's abiding by the law. Ian, thank you. E.P. Gregory, thank you. Janie, thank you. Conrad, thank you. Lonnie and Ben D, thank you. They think also like morally superior, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful liberals, beautiful people. They think firearms are actually sentient beings. They're not inanimate objects. They actually think they're alive. That's one thing. They actually think they're alive and that they commit crimes, which is why they create these euphemisms. It's no longer violence. It's put something in front of the word violence that we can prevent or we can ban, and then you won't have violence. Unfortunately, the most violent people on the planet don't care about laws. That's why they're criminals. That's why the best friend of criminals is the morally superior liberal. The best friend. The best friend. Because that's just the case. You make it difficult for a person to protect his or her family, and guess who benefits? The person who would want to harm you. You're not going to legislate your way. Like, the concept of evil is a foreign concept that doesn't exist to Democrats, except when they're talking about Trump. Then it's you know, the epitome of evil. The concept of free will is a completely foreign concept to morally superior Democrats. They don't understand. They don't even think it's a thing. They don't know what it is. They don't care what it is. If they can mandate and legislate and demand and silence and suppress and bully their way into any narrative or any type of legislation, like, for example, they want to mint $1 trillion coin. We talked about that. If you spoke to like a 7-year-old or 6-year-old, they'd have a greater grasp of logic and reality than most morally superior Democrats. They're completely clueless about everything. They think Trump is a despot. They haven't opened up a history book to see what true despots are. The most, like the maniac, Democrats look at it like the maniac that engages on a spree of, evil. They say, well, if only laws would prevent this person. But he already broke laws. His that moment in time when he decided to engage in evil, he didn't care about any laws. No amount of laws, even Dianne Feinstein numerous times said no amount of laws would have stopped this, no amount of laws would have stopped that. When you go into in a school, God forbid, you're breaking the law with a firearm. You're already breaking the law. There are already laws against this, but yet you have these maniacs breaking the law as they continue breaking the law. You're not going to legislate your way out of evil. You're going to find out what makes evil people commit the atrocities they commit. And give good people the ability to protect themselves. So he didn't in 2016. Haha. The best part is when people say Trump lost. It's like, okay, and Clinton lost too. So Trump lost, but he had every single newspaper against him. Clinton lost, and she had every single newspaper and cable station backing her. Biden, mashed potato brains needed a month, and then he won, or 3 weeks, or whatever. So imagine if media wasn't in the tank for the Democratic Party. Look, Democrats don't know. If you asked anyone on the left, how will the infrastructure bill help the economy? They won't be able to tell you. They'll come up with some nonsense. Well, like, roads and bridges are used by commerce. Yeah, well, we have a labor shortage and supply chain bottlenecks and shortages now because of you. Because Democrats prevented people from working. They prevented people from working. So it's like, save your money. As I beg for super chat. Everybody here. Caroline, Eric, Luke, everybody here. Ben D, Ian, thank you so much. Ian, thank you. I can't thank you enough, Ian. Janie, everybody here. The first time in my life, I thought, you know what? I'm going to actually, if God forbid there's a natural disaster or a financial disaster, stock up on supplies. I have never thought about that in my life. The ability for mashed potato brains to ruin this country is unlimited. Trump was a good president. He was a bad president to apoplectic liberals who didn't like his personality. That's why I say do not get back on Twitter. I know, I love you, Roger Rabbit. I love you. I know you disagree with me. A lot of people disagree with me. Most people, I think, on the channel, well, I would say probably half the people who watch say, yeah, but put Trump back on Twitter. I think that Ian and Ben D and Janie and everybody here, I think it would be a very bad thing if the Florida judge blocks Trump. It would be the best thing possible for Trump. Because Biden, this is the thing, like I said, I'll come up with new material other than the ICBMs and Halley's Comet rerouting towards Earth. But I mean, you could be walking, you could be hiking, okay, with your significant other, who is a morally superior liberal. Okay, morally superior, just and righteous liberal. You could be hiking, and a rattlesnake could clamp onto your calf and sink his teeth into your skin with his fangs and all of that venom, while at the same time a mountain lion could be chomping on your arm while there's a mudslide that's heading your way as lightning hits you, while at the same time a flash flood takes place and a bunch of fire ants start going up your shoe onto your leg, while a grizzly bear takes hold of your significant other, and a rainstorm hits, And the last words you will hear from the righteous, morally superior liberal is, before the grizzly bear chomps and bites off the person's face, at least Trump is not in office. At least he's not on Twitter. My last split second on this planet is beautiful. There's nothing that could get me down. Okay. And so that's why you probably don't want the Orange Menace on Twitter. Ian, thank you. Janie, thank you. EP, Gregory, thank you. Conrad, thank you. Lonnie, Ben, thank you. And it's like they live. Do you understand? I never once made, and Ian and everyone here, Luke and Eric, you guys have been watching for a long time. I never said that Clinton was immoral for putting top secret intelligence on private servers. I said that it was an obvious crime and an obvious national security dilemma. Not once did I bring up character. Not a once. But Trump. Oh, you see how mean he is, how cruel. Someone said, someone's proctologist's neighbor, financial advisor, dentist said that Trump disparaged this person and that person. Oh, what a horrible human being. And if there's a stock market crash and people are scrounging in dumpsters and they've lost everything, and if Trump goes, good job, Biden, we had a great economy, now the dollar's worth a discarded Cheeto wrapper, they're going to say, this ain't so bad. They are going to say this ain't so bad. They're going to say, it's true. We had 3 different bubbles pop. Bond market tanked. Real estate is in the gutter, the toilet. And the stock market has crashed. Everyone's lost 70% of their wealth in 2 days, 3 days. But it makes me feel better that we have Biden, because Trump offended me on Twitter. So I don't need a roof over my head, because if Trump offends me, I don't care anymore. That's what they'll say. That's what they'll say. JG, hello. JG, hello. Hope all is well, JG. Hope all is well. E.P. Gregory. Potato head is beholden to foreign betting. I agree. That mashed potato. I agree that. Thank you, E.P. Gregory. Thank you. I agree, E.P. Gregory, that the interests of the Democratic Party align with Russia, China. You see that with Uranium One. You see that we couldn't talk about the origins of you-know-what. We see that. And, we see this, It would be nice to have conservative media back Trump. It would be nice. E.P. Gregory, I agree with you. Thank you very much, E.P. Gregory. Thank you. I agree with you. I agree with you. I think that mashed potato brains, you could take the worst football coach, and I could think of some people. They're better than mashed potato brains. I've been in a stadium where the entire stadium is thinking, no, don't do that. And still that coach is better than mashed potato brains. If you took, like I always say, you know what? If you took the Exxon Valdez captain, the Titanic captain, the engineers of the Hindenburg, they would still have more common sense than mashed potato brains. I mean, I'm going to start, look, not that I want it to happen, because honestly, I'll live. Like if the market keeps going up, there's no crash, there's going to be a crash, but if the market keeps going up indefinitely and never crashes, I'll be like, thank God I was wrong, because I don't want people to suffer. I'm not like Democrats that like touch themselves in ecstasy whenever anyone doesn't do exactly what they say, and bad things happen, although people do what they say and bad things happen, but whatever. It's so funny too, like the propaganda is so hilarious because they don't realize that you actually have thoughts in your mind. So you can actually be thinking like, this just doesn't make any sense at all. I don't believe anything you're saying. As long as you don't say that to them. That's bad, because it gets them riled up and they become even more apoplectic. Just have your own thoughts. They don't even think people have free will, but they don't even think that people have their own mind, their own ability to think and reason. So they think that they're the only people who could reason for you. So they're like, that's not what this says. You're so lame. Well, I don't know. Look at this other country here. Look at that other country there. They don't think that you're capable of thinking. They don't believe that you're capable of evaluating the best course of action for your life. And see, their narcissism is repackaged as, well, if you don't do what we say, you're harming everyone else. It's like, no, not really. You gave Andrew Cuomo an Emmy, so you know what? Spare us the nonsense. Whitmer, Cuomo, Phil Murphy, and Newsom have all had nursing home scandals. You better believe, though, the Atlantic, the New York Times, the Washington Post will not talk about it. You better believe that. I saw this. Bernie Sanders being cheated really affected me and kind of woke me up to what's really going on with the world. I mean, I knew that there was corruption and all that, but I didn't know the psychological element before seeing Bernie getting cheated. All of that was revealed, and then they blamed Russia, and then I was like, it never happened. So they're really, really good at they're good at erasing history. They're like the Stalin of propaganda. Stalin would like erase people from photos. Democrats are really good at erasing history. E.P. Gregory, I agree with you. E.P. Gregory, thank you. But you see these stadiums, which is great. I love how like Robert De Niro could be like, oh yo, Trump, oh, and then the Emmys, by the way, was it at the Emmys? I don't know, the Academy Awards, who knows? But you see these things taking place all across the country, and it's like, oh, okay. Melinda, De Los Santos, thank you. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you so very much. Melinda de Los Santos, thank you. Thank you. You see this all across the country now. And they're like, oh my God. Ian, Ben, JG, everybody here. They're like, oh my God. Do you see how ruthless, how despicable these Alabama football fans are? These Clemson football fans are despicable. How can you not love mashed potato brains? He's so nice. You never heard anyone in his whole life. He's such a good person. He's not mean like Trump. Cali boy! 46 is a true Dem demented. Pretty much. Kelly boy! Yes. He is a true Dem. A old school Democrat. I mean, pretty much the antithesis of everything Democrats claim to stand for now. I mean, the statements he's made, the things he said, even to Charlemagne the God. I mean, and Charlemagne the God didn't say anything. He just said, oh, and basically didn't even respond. Libya with President Obama and Hillary. I call Cali boy, as you know, I call him mashed potato brains. Thank you so very much. Cali boy, thank you as always. Thank you. Mashed potato brains is, I don't know, like, you know what's interesting? Cali boy, Ben, Ian, EP, everybody here. Who do you think has more wisdom? Jake Sullivan, Bumbling Blinken, Circle Lady, or Biden? I think that he gets overruled all the time. I think he's like, hey, probably, we'll get to you in a second, Mr. President. We're just building a consensus, okay? Here, watch The Price is Right. Here's some applesauce. Just relax. Come on, man. I'm the president, man. Come on, man. Cut me some slack, man. I'm the president, man. Come on, man. You know the deal, man. I'm the president. Am I? You are, but we're reaching a consensus. We're reaching a consensus of experts. Okay? Okay, so this way, when you tell everyone what you've decided, you can say that a consensus of experts, it was all unanimous. Oh, okay, man. Give me some lotion, man. Here's the lotion. The more we suffer as a country, it'll be like the scene from Silence of the Lambs. It gets the lotion. Wait, what is it? It gets the hose. Wait. Wait. What was the quote? Oh, Silence of the Lambs. Okay, what was it? It puts the hold on, what was it? It rubs the lotion on the United States will rub the lotion on its skin. It will do whatever it's told. Or it'll get the hose. Come on, United States, man. People of our country, man. You know the deal, man. I'm the most popular candidate of all time, man. Ask cornflakes. If you don't do what you're told and put the lotion on your skin, man, you get the hose, man. Okay. Okay. It does what it's told. with the lotion in the basket. Oh, man. Ian, I can't thank you enough. Thank you, Ian. That's right. It's those again. Oh, my goodness. I guess Biden is like. So the most hilarious part is that they're trying to get this infrastructure bill done, and nobody knows how it'll benefit the country. There are people who are going to be evicted. What is Biden going to do? Put a shovel in their hand? What is he going to do? Like mail everybody a plastic commemorative shovel? Along with the stimulus check that nobody seems to be getting? And as a token of our appreciation, the Democratic Party has given you a plastic shovel in commemoration of the infrastructure bill that nobody knows what will do, how it will benefit the country, but whatever. Similar to the New Deal of FDR, this little commemorative shovel, made in China, should give you the solace you need once you're kicked out of your home, because Democrats prevented you from working for a year and you couldn't find your job back, and now there's no work. It gets the lotion. The country will get the lotion. See, actually, it works out because he campaigned off lotion on his leg hair, and now it's Silence of the Lambs. The country will experience Silence of the Lambs. You know what? Just save money. Honestly, save money. Save your money as I beg for Super Chat. Save your money. You look. I don't know. When the market tanks, he's gonna go on. He's gonna. The president is speaking. The market is tanked 3,000. The market drops 4,000 points in 5,000 points in one day. The market has dropped 6,000 points, a 20+% drop. The president will be on CNN tonight with Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo, who will do his performance of 150-pound tricep extensions, which, of course, never happened because just like Democrats in general and CNN, it was complete and utter false news. But anyway, the president is speaking. Hey, man. Hey, man. Come on, man. You know, the market dropped 6,000 points. That was yesterday, man. You know the deal. You know the deal. I put lotion on my legs. Okay? The only thing you have to believe is believing itself. And don't fear. Everything is going to be fine, man. The infrastructure bill kicks in 3 years from now, man. The good thing is that we're going to raise corporate profits, man, and billionaires are going to pay for this. All right, man. Come on, man. I've got to speak softly. Just because the market dropped 6,000 points doesn't mean you have to get so upset. Balding? I'm not balding. I shave my head on purpose just because it looks more fashionable. But I could grow my hair. A little bit. Spalding here. A little bit. First, last, thank you. Unimportant. Well, that you have right. First, last, thank you. First, last, thank you. Come on, man. Why are you so worried about the market drop, man? You know what? I don't know. It's gonna get bad. Stock market crash channel segment is doing, relatively well, just because, it's a small channel. But here it is, everybody. I only did one segment today, but I'm going to do a lot more. I did 3 yesterday, 1 today. I'll do at least 1, hopefully 3 every day on the stock market crash channel. There's so much to talk about. China has a tremendous, tremendous debt problem also, as we do. That was 5 days ago. That was 4 days ago, 5 days ago. Benny B. So here's the stock market crash channel, everybody. Please, please, please subscribe to it. Thank you, Kate. Thank you. Thank you. Look, Fat, here's the deal. You know the thing. Cornbread was a bad day. The stock market crashed. 6,000 points, yes. What we need to do is rise up and put the lotion on the bad times. Come on, man. You know the deal, man. I'm speaking to you. Speaking to you and to you and to you. Okay, we got Bumbling Blinken and Jake Sullivan and the whole crew and Circle Lady. Come on. You know the deal, man. Who cares if it's a stock market crash, man? It's all about the infrastructure. Come on, man. You know the deal, man. Pay them more. I'm all out of material tonight. Exactly. First, last, major supply chain issues. Because when they're probably also docked outside these ports because the manufacturers don't have the money, or the people who've purchased the supplies either don't have the money to bring them to actually transport them. Let's look at why the supply the labor shortage and the supply chain bottlenecks are due to an increase in the demand increasing too fast for the supply chain to react. Okay. Let's read this. As retailers, a record number of 65 vessels are waiting in the port in Los Angeles. Warehouses are increasingly full with the volume of cargo piling up due to supply chain bottlenecks. So that doesn't make any sense. Warehouses shouldn't be full if the demand is, as retailers get 65 vessels. Shipping companies have been dealing with the impact of supply chain disruption since March when consumer demand slowed down due to Canada. Caught up with the surge in demand. Warehouses are increasingly full. Warehouses are overflowing. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. None of this makes any sense. Bendy! Anyway, Bendy. I think Nancy Pelosi does. Bendy, thank you. $1 trillion coin. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? $1 trillion coin. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Bendy, thank you. Ian, I can't thank you enough. Ian, thank you. Ben D, first last, thank you. Ben D, thank you so very much. $1 trillion coin. Well, it's probably worth $50, so at the end of by the time Democrats are done, the $1 trillion coin will be worth $50 or so. Ben D, thank you. Let's just look really quickly before we're going to end in a couple of minutes, everybody. I can't thank you enough. The super chat, I cannot do this without you, and I do appreciate the support. But aside from watching this channel, save your money. Every month, save. I would even stock up on supplies. I know it sounds bizarre. That's not my style. It's not my style to talk that way. But, Campbell's Chunky Soup, canned goods, preferably also keep a can opener. You'll be like, be like Quest for Fire. Canned goods, Grey Poupon, you can't live without that. I'm in California, Irma. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. Ben D, thank you so very much. Ian, Jane, everybody, EP, everybody here, thank you. Ben, thank you. Thank you so very much. I can't thank you enough, everybody. Eric and Luke, thank you so very much. JG, always an honor and a pleasure. And everybody, thank you so very much. I am humbled, and I'm so thankful that I have such really wonderful, generous viewers. And Roger Rabbit, thank you. I can't do this without you. Roger Rabbit, always for the kind words. Thank you very much. Mean a lot to me. Ben, Ian Moyer, I can't thank you enough, Ian. Thank you so very, very much. Cali Boy, everybody here. Cali Boy, thank you. Everybody here, thank you so very, very much. The Freak, thank you. Eric and Luke, ladies and gentlemen, God bless. To my super chat, thank you. Can't do it without you. Subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel. I will have segments tomorrow in the morning. I should start with an upload on this channel also, so look for the upload in the morning tomorrow, early morning. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless. To my super chat, thank you. Eric and Luke, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody.